Hey y'all, so I just went out to the mail and I got seeds from Baker Creek. And so I wanted to do a seed haul. These are for fall. And I have a lot of seeds that I saved already from like plants that I grew this year. And so things like broccoli, cilantro, some like red rhubarb, Brussels sprouts I had, but I did have to purchase a few seeds. And so, and we are at the time of year when we need to start thinking about fall gardening. I actually have already started some broccoli seeds. I've started some decorative corn, which I am probably tempting the timelines with that one just because corn, this is Uncle Wade's giant corn. And so the ears are like this long. And it's a multicolored, it's just a decorative corn. It's not a corn that you would eat, but obviously they will take a long time. So we'll see if those even come up. But I thought I've got these seeds. They're years old. And so we'll see. Too soon to tell if they will actually germinate or not. So one of the things that I had to get was some lettuce. And let me just real quick kind of put these in categories here because I feel like that maybe will make things a little bit easier. Okay. So I just ordered, this is the Landis Winter lettuce. It's like, I said it's an incredibly cold hardy lettuce. Let's see. It doesn't say, but I think it's very similar to like a cross between like a butter lettuce and a romaine, like kind in like crunch and texture. They also sent me some little gem. And these are actually a heat-tolerant lettuce. It's very hot now, but I actually could probably plant these in like late August, early September. It's still pretty warm here in Central Virginia in that time. And so they probably do okay and wouldn't bolt terribly quickly. I ordered 2 packets of arugula. Baker Creek has this arugula called wasabi arugula, and it is like super, super spicy arugula. I mean, it literally does taste like wasabi, and it is fantastic. I mean, it's really phenomenal. It's just got this awesome punch to it, and they were sold out. But we do like regular arugula. We eat a ton of this. And I did not save seeds from my arugula this year because I had too many other things going on. So I've got some of that. I got some dwarf Siberian kale. This is just a good sauteing kale. I have some kale seeds in the high tonal that I probably still need to harvest, but have not. And then the Nero di Toscana kale, which this is like, to me, what I think is the best tasting kale. It's actually sweet, again, as long as you're not like trying to grow it when it's super hot, but it's pretty sweet and makes great kale chips, like a little bit of avocado oil, a little bit of salt or Parmesan in the oven until they get like a little bit crispy. Doesn't take them very long, and phenomenal. Love it. Decided to try some kohlrabi this year. I have never grown this. I don't exactly know or remember. I've had it before, but I don't remember exactly how it tastes or what the texture is like. I do know, though, that this is great for fermenting. I know Jill over at Whispering Willow Farm, they ferment a lot of kohlrabi. And in the wintertime, I feel like it's one of those things that the more gut support that you can get, because maybe we're not eating as much fresh vegetables and things like that, the better. That's just where my head goes and how my thoughts work. So it's Blower Speck kohlrabi. I got 2 different kinds of cauliflower. I got Purple of Sicily, which I've heard a lot of folks have great success with. Heads are about 2 to 3 pounds. It says it's very sweet. It cooks to like a bright green color. Obviously very frost hardy. And then this one is the Amazing Cauliflower. So the reason that I got this is you can harvest it when the heads are fairly small, or they can get like very large. And so I think that will make for great, like being able to succession sow and stagger harvest, so you're not getting like a ton of it all at once. But I love cauliflower. I love doing it like grating it, doing like it with like lemon, a little bit of olive oil and some herbs. That's really good. Roasting it in the oven obviously makes it like just amazing. And just doing a couple other things with it. Making, the other thing that recently that I've done with cauliflower is making like mac and cheese, but instead of noodles, doing cauliflower. It's very good, high protein, high fiber, it's delicious. I have done rutabagas in the past. This last winter, I did a different kind of rutabaga, and I was not fans of them. They bolted pretty fast, which it was starting to get warm, but they were tall and kind of skinny. And I don't know if you guys have had rutabagas before, but like when you're eating them, boiling them, like it's a lot of work for something that's like very small. And so I want them to be larger. And I have heard of these as like one of the best tasting varieties, like one of the sweetest kinds of rutabaga. So I like that. Again, Jess at Roost and Refuge recommends rutabagas, boiled mashed, mixed with sour cream, chives. It's great. I've had it that way. Also just cut up and roasted with like other root vegetables. Fantastic. Carrots. I have not grown carrots in 9 years, since my daughter was 1. It was her first summer after she was born was the last time I grew carrots. Carrots are very challenging for me, but I do like in the fall and in the winter doing spice cake and things like that with like shredded carrot in it. And so I am imagining these will mostly be for baking. They're a 75-day. It says that they have let's see. I feel like I looked at the tasting notes on these on their website, and it said that they were very sweet. To sow carrot seeds, I think the best way that I've found is like to make, or that I've seen people do, is to make like a shallow trench, sow the seeds just thickly, or you can make your own seed tape with like toilet paper, to do that, and then moisten the soil, put a board over it, and then like as they start to kind of germinate, you take the board off and just keep them moist, and then as they grow, you thin them out so that they can actually grow a decent sized carrot. So I may do these. I think actually I'm going to do these in my raised beds because the soil in there is probably the most ideal. In the high tunnel, we have a good amount of like good soil, but it doesn't go as deep as the stuff in the raised beds. And then the last seeds that I got are these Winter Sun yellow beets. I love roasted yellow beets, like a roasted beet salad. Amazing. This roasted on arugula with goat cheese. Fantastic. If you're local to Central Virginia, we like the truffle goat cheese from Caramont Farms. Y'all, it is so good. So good. And then they sent me another free seed packet, which is Pansies Historic Floral Mix, which is fantastic because pansies are great fall flowers, and I can sow them from seed, and this is just a beautiful color mix. It's almost like kind of all those jewel tones, a little bit of pastel in there, so that's very cool. So that is my autumn, the majority of what I'm growing this autumn. I'm growing so obviously in November, I will be planting garlic as I always do. I'm actually going to do onions this year. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do this from seed or from sets yet. If you do them from sets, you plant them a little bit earlier. If you do them from seeds, you don't start them until January. So we'll see. I haven't decided. But I've got, again, like some broccoli, some kale, some red rhubarb, herbs. Obviously, I've got herbs, seeds already. So that's stuff that I don't need. But I'm really trying to, instead of trying to grow like 1,000 different things, just grow some things and grow it really well and make that kind of the staple of like our table, of our dinner table, you know, like over the season. I feel like it's a lot easier to grow less kinds of different vegetables, and just grow more of like your staples there and learn how to cook them differently and present them differently. Flowers wise, I'm going to try to get, do like zinnias and sunnies and dahlias until hopefully October. That's my plan. I don't know if that will work, but I've started like succession sowing sunflowers and zinnias. And the dahlias they need to be support netted, but they're still putting on flowers. And so, yeah. So I'm planning on like fully gardening through probably about November. And then it will probably mostly just be relegated to the very cold tolerant things like Brussels sprouts, lettuces, things like that. And then growing other things in the high tunnel. I will have some warm weather crops like tomatoes and cucumbers, and beans that I just put out there, okra, that I'm hoping to take at least to October, like through mid-October. So my tomatoes are doing great. I am probably in a couple weeks will be canning a lot of those. I'm just freezing them for now in the meantime, letting them like get really ripe and then throwing them in the freezer to sort of try to maximize on flavor. And then I'll have probably a canning day in like early September, where we'll can a bunch of sauce. And I don't have freezer space right now, but I do like to try like potatoes we're pulling out of the garden. I like to blanch those and freeze them. I made gnocchi and I froze that last year with some of the potatoes that we harvested, and that was great. And so we'll probably do that again. But the summer is just clipping right along, y'all. We've been through a lot here. We went on a little vacation. Our chickens got eaten by a fox, and so I think I've only got about 3 hens left. But we do have the French black copper Morans that are growing, and so probably in 2 or 3 months they will start laying. They'll start laying just as it starts getting really cold, and then their bodies will kind of shut down. I don't use any supplemental heat or light for our chickens. I like them to have kind of that natural rest period, and we get a lot less eggs. But that's okay. They're great. They're great layers in peak season, so I'm not really worried about it. And I'm just debating as to whether I want to get more egg birds or not. We really want ducks, so we're potentially facing some changes, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But if we end up staying and everything like that goes fine, then we'll probably get ducks and then maybe goats next spring. I don't know. I feel like that's pretty ambitious, but we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I just wanted to do my fall seed haul. This is, other than ordering garlic and onions, like this is the only seeds that I'm ordering for fall. Keeping expenses very low this autumn. I don't usually do that. I'm usually a little bit of a menace when it comes to looking through seed catalogs and things. Actually, the only caveat to that is that I probably will do microgreens in the fall. I order those from True Leaf Market because they're I've always had very, very good experience with the germination rate on their seeds. They're very, like, the microgreens have always been great. And I like doing the black oil sunflowers, the pea tendrils, the purple radish, and then actually the Siberian dwarf kale makes a great microgreen. And so again, just keeping that to 4, but the black oil sunflowers are the seedlings, when you do it with microgreens, are very nutty. Like they have this awesome flavor. Pea tendrils are usually really sweet. And so you get, and then with the radish and the kale, you get a little bit of spice. So it's kind of nice. But anyway, that's all I got. Hope y'all are having a great summer. School's about to start here very soon for us. So that's obviously really exciting. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.